go ahead and get started. I'm going to kind of go over our agenda for today, what we're doing, just so you know what to expect. In a second, we're going to look at our learning target. We're going to go over what are we doing today, why are we doing that, and how are we going to know that we got it. Then you guys are going to break down your writing prompt for the end of class. That way we can set our purpose for reading so that we know exactly what we're looking for before we start that first read. We're going to go through the first read just to kind of dig in. And then we're going to go back in for the second read. And we're going to skim and scan to be able to identify and interpret textual evidence. And you may be saying, Ms. Harpole, why are we going back to text evidence? But in a second, when we look at our learning target, I'm going to kind of explain it to you because we're making a big shift today in what we've been doing and where we're going next. Okay? So, if you look at our learning target, and sorry guys, these slides are just out of order, so we might do a little flipping back and forth. Today I will identify and interpret textual evidence in a nonfiction text. I want you to take about 30 seconds and turn to your shoulder partner. And I want you to discuss, what do you think that means? Okay? If you don't have your shoulder partner, turn around to the person like Ashley, you're going to talk with Eddie and Bryce. Okay? And I want you to talk about, what do you think that means? Identify and interpret text evidence.
It means,
yes, you and Tristan.
identify means to find it, and then to interpret means to like know why you have found text evidence, and like yes.
I don't think you're finding text evidence that has to do with what you're writing.
You need to know how to put the text evidence in the sentence good, because if you don't, it's going to sound like you put it's kind of like saying something before in the wrong topic, because you need to put the text evidence in the right spot or else it'll sound a bit off. Not only that, but you also need to have the text evidence correct, as you said.
What do you have to say?
I have to say, I think interpret textual evidence means that it's like really, really important evidence, like that make your whole paragraph turn into like the kind of detail, like it means that you don't even need 3 details. It's that important that you just need that one detail in that paragraph.
2 and 1. Lauren, go ahead, share out what you and Faith discussed on what does that learning target mean.
We thought that identify meant like to find it, and interpret meant like to break it down and to understand it better.
Okay, very good. So Lauren said identify means to like find it. And interpret it means to kind of break it down. Explain it. Where have you done that before? Jacayla? In your double entry journals. So look at your worksheets right now. Do they look familiar? Yeah. What is it? A double entry journal. So what we're doing today, guys, because we're making that transition from fiction, reading stories and literature, to nonfiction today. So we're going to apply those skills that you learned in the novel Walk Two Moons to our switch, our transition, because for the rest of the school year, we're going to be focused mostly on nonfiction. So we're starting today to see, can we still master those skills that we did in fiction with nonfiction text? And what you're doing is you're starting a little mini performance task today and Monday. You're going to be gathering that evidence for your writing prompt that you're going to write. It's going to be a multi-paragraph composition that we're going to help practice for benchmark. And because it's the basis of where we're going in quarter 3. So by the end of class today, you're not only going to identify and interpret that text evidence from our first piece of text, but you're going to use it to help you answer this question. What I want you to do, if you look on your worksheet, right below where you answered your name, you have this box that says purpose for reading. I'm going to give you about a minute and a half. I want you to read through it, and I want you to break it down. Circle your verbs, underline the important information. Because I want you to tell me, what are we doing? What is that purpose? What are we going to be looking for? We know we're looking for text evidence, but we need to know specifically what we're looking for. So go through. Remember, you circle your verbs, underline the important information. Yes. What kind of text evidence are we looking for today? What's our purpose?
We are looking for reasons why people have pets.
Okay, so we're looking for reasons why people have pets. And what specifically are we looking for from this piece of text to help us answer that question, Nyla?
To figure out what they love about them and how they learn from them.
Okay, so to figure out what they love about them and what they learn from them. And who are we going to be focusing on specifically in this text, Quentin? Go back and look at your prompt. Who are we focusing on? Okay, not the title. And you're reading for purpose. Tristan, help your partner out.
I think we would be looking for evidence to answer the question.
Okay, yeah, we know that, but who are we focusing on? The two people, Ashton,
I don't know how to say
Grogan,
Grogan and Marley.
and Marley. Okay, so we just set our purpose. You guys told me that we need to figure out why people have pets, and that we're going to focus on John and Marley to see why do they love each other. What has John learned from Marley? So I want you to look down at your text, your article. I'm going to start reading it out loud for our first read through. I'm going to go through just for time's sake because I want you to have enough time to dig into it deep. I want you guys in your pod to tell me 1 to 2 new pieces of information that you learned about the relationship between humans and their pets. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, guys. I want you to just list those 2 pieces of evidence for time's sake, okay? So tell me, what are 2 new things that you learned? Refresh, Fran.
I will.
We got about 40 seconds left. All right, I need you to start wrapping it up, and I need you to submit in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to turn to your shoulder partner, and I want you to share out the new information that you learned. Okay, and after that, I'm going to ask for some volunteers to to share. So,
What I love
It's hard, like the faces are yellow.
pets is that they can learn from, like John, like Warren did with his, like how John selfishness, and loyalty from his dog Marley. We learn how to appreciate. We learn how to appreciate simple things and following your heart and seizing moments.
great. 2 and 1. Trey, I want you to talk to us a little bit and tell me what you and Kitty learned. What connections did you make?
I said that I learned that dogs can connect and animals can connect with humans in a lot of ways. Like, they can connect with us because they know how we feel and when we're down.
What was a specific example of that from the story?
In the story, it said that when Grogan's wife had a miscarriage, the dog knew how she felt and he laid on her belly and just whimpered.
Very good. I like how you're not only making that real life connection, but you're making the connection to the text too, Jakayla.
We talked about how that he still loved Marley, even though Marley destroyed like all his sofas. When Marley died, it was sad.
Okay. Very good, Reggie.
I learned that you can learn more things than just responsibility from a dog.
And
You
like
can
what
learn-
else?
You can learn about following your heart and tackling each day with a new sense of joy when you wake up. Nothing from the past day follows you into the next. Live your life freely.
I really like how you are saying that. And identifying that evidence in the left-hand column, interpreting it in the right-hand column, and then I'm going to give you guys a chance to do it, okay? So let's pick up, and remember during my model, anything that I highlight or underline, anything I write down, you need to on your paper because you're creating that model. So I need eyes and ears open, mouths closed. So I'm going to show you guys now what I expect to see when you're working. So go back to the very first paragraph up at the top if you haven't flipped your paper back. Okay, so I know that when I skim and scan, I just need to read the first couple of words to see, does it have anything to do with my purpose for reading? In the gray of dawn, I found the shovel. No, that's just talking about when he was when he was digging the hole. In paragraph 2, the earth was loose and blessed. No, he's still talking about digging the hole. But then I see in the second sentence, it was odd being out in the backyard without Marley. I think that's important, guys. It was odd being without Marley, the lad who'd been by his side for those 13 years. So I'm seeing how he was by his side for every excursion out the door. And I'm going to stop right here because just like Reggie and Trey were making connections to that new information they pulled, this is where I kind of stopped and made a connection to my own life because my dogs are the same way. From the time I let them out of the kennel, they never leave my side no matter where I'm going. So I know that this piece of evidence shows that Marley was always there, and it shows that they had that close relationship because that's the way it is with my dog. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write down, guys, to explain Marley was always there by John's side. What? Yes, sir, you are. Because they had
A strong bond.
They had a close relationship, a strong bond. You're absolutely correct. Yes, Mackenzie? Now, Mackenzie, if you want to go sit right here, you can. A close relationship, and they loved each other.
Over there.
Yes.